Hello everyone, I'm Chyill and welcome back to another one of my Rainbow Six videos. Today we will be taking a look at Jackal, the newly added Spanish GEO Attack operator, so sit back, relax and enjoy the show. In this episode of my detailed Rainbow Six Siege guides, Jackal, the new Spanish attack operator, will be our main topic for today. I've had quite a bit of fun playing with Jackal, and I think that he's a good addition to the attacking roster of operators because of what he can bring to the table. With the reduction in round timers for ranked games in the previous season, it is quite easy now for the roaming defenders to delay the attackers so much that the attacking team often need to be quick with their game, or else they would run out of time. With a Jackal pick, dealing with roamers can and should be able to be done efficiently and effectively now when there is a need for it. Jackal is a 2 speed and 2 armor operator, making it so that he is neither slow nor fast and neither tanky nor squishy. This is actually a good thing since he needs a bit of both speed and tankiness if he wants to do his job well and hunt down those pesky roamers. And so I think that he is actually quite a decent attacker. He's definitely not a must pick like Thermite or Hibana because of their ability to deal with reinforced walls, but he is definitely a nice operator to have in a round if the meta heavily favours roaming defenders. In this operator guide, just like the Hibana and Echo guides I have made previously, I will start off with introducing and discussing about Jackal's unique gadget, the Inox Model 3, then I will cover his weapons and secondary gadget choices, before finally covering his playstyle and some of my tips on playing him effectively. And so without further ado, let's begin. First off, let's talk about his unique gadget, the Inox Model 3. What the gadget basically does is allow Jackal to see enemy footprints and also scan them to reveal the location of the player for a whole minute. Enemy footprints will be color coded and the colors represent how long it has been since the player was there. Warmer colors like yellow and red denote that the footprint is very recent, with red being the most recent, while colder colors like green and blue mean that the footprint has been there for a while already, with green being the longest if I remember correctly. If you are within range of a player's footprint, you can scan it and it will reveal the position of the player immediately to your whole team and then every 10 seconds thereafter until a minute's up. The ability is super useful not just for looking for roamers, but it can sometimes be useful when attacking into the objective room if it's particularly large, since you can identify which corners the defenders recently hid in and attack into the room while having that knowledge. However, the drawback is that if the defender was camping at the corner for the entire game, he wouldn't leave any footprints anywhere, since the footprints have to be relatively fresh to be tracked. And so running into a room thinking there isn't a defender hiding in the corner because there were no footprints will likely mean death for you if you're not careful. Like in this clip that I'm showing you, I see that the color of the footprints have turned, and so I thought the person must have gone away by now. But what I failed to realize was that the footprint was facing toward me and there weren't any footprints leading away from the corner on the left. And so when I finally jumped in there, I was in for a surprise. And so having said that, using a drone would still be better for the purposes of gaining intel of the room, but sometimes if you're out of drones, Jackal's ability is a viable alternative. Another drawback to the ability is that the scan ability can only be used 3 times in a round, and only one player can be tracked at one time. Using the scan again before the first one is used up will cancel the first one, so you might need to weigh up whether tracking the first target is more important or not. Another thing to be careful of is that the enemy is notified when they're scanned, so they might know to set up an ambush or a trap and will wait for you to come. So when you think that you have the upper hand but the enemy is well prepared for it, the hunter becomes the hunted and you will get killed instead. So do be a bit more careful even if you know roughly where the enemy is. When you are being shot at while you are using your unique gadget, minor static and interference will obstruct your vision a little bit, and so it is advised to disable your ability when you think you'll be engaging in combat soon. Mute jammers will also interfere with your ability, and if you are near enough, it will make it so that you cannot see anything at all if you're using your ability, so do be careful of mute jammers when using Jackal. And so that's about it for Jackal's unique gadget. Now let's move on to talk about his weapons and gadget choices. Starting with his primary weapons, Jackal can choose between an assault rifle, a shotgun and even a submachine gun. A very good range of weapons indeed. His assault rifle is a Colt Canada C7, or just called C7E in game. It deals 46 damage per round, fires 800 rounds per minute and has a magazine capacity of 30. The gun is really amazing to use because it has a very manageable recoil and it just tears through defenders like they're nothing. Getting headshots with the gun is very easy as well, and it basically feels like a better version of Hibana's rifle to me. I'm glad he's got a good rifle since he probably needs good guns to effectively deal with those roamers. Moving on, Jackal's submachine gun is a Angstedt Arms UDP-9, otherwise known in-game as PDW-9. It fires 800 rounds per minute, each round dealing 33 damage, and has a huge magazine capacity of 50. The best thing about this SMG is that you can also put an ACOG scope onto it, unlike most SMGs that defenders have, and it is also very accurate, making it very easy to line up headshots with this SMG. Since the gun has such a large magazine capacity, you can shoot for quite a while before having to reload, making it super effective with dealing with multiple enemies in one room. Very nice. Lastly, his primary shotgun is a FabArm STF-12 pistol grip initial variant and is nicknamed ITA-12L in-game. It is a pump action shotgun with a base damage of 47 and an ammo capacity of 7. From my experience with the shotgun, though very limited, it feels great to use, but it doesn't feel as strong as the SAS shotgun, or in fact any of the other shotguns that the defenders have, I feel. Well, except maybe Capcom and Tachanka's shotgun. That one is pretty lousy. And so, to summarize on his primary weapons, I feel that Jackal loses a lot of his killing power if he doesn't use his rifle or SMG, because you want to have the ability to engage on your enemies from afar if you can. So I would highly suggest picking either his rifle or SMG. It'll probably be a matter of personal preference which one is better for you, so give them both a try and pick which one you like. Moving on, Jackal has access to two secondary weapons, a pistol and another shotgun. The shotgun is the same shotgun as his primary one, except this one is the STF-12 short initial variant and is nicknamed ITA-12S in-game. Gameplay wise, this shorter version of the pump action shotgun has a high 66 base damage, but can only pack a maximum of 5 rounds, including one in the chamber. The spread of this shotgun is much bigger than the other variant, and so it has a much shorter engagement range as well. I personally picked this shotgun as my secondary weapon over the pistol, so that I have the option of opening up murder holes when I need to, since it is my job to try to flush out roamers as Jackal, and this helps with that job. If possible, I wouldn't recommend trying to get up close and killing with the gun, unless if you want to do it for fun or you don't have a choice. Onto his pistol, it's a Heckler & Koch USP Compact, otherwise known in game as the USP-40. It does 43 damage per round and has a magazine capacity of 12, so it's just a standard pistol in Siege. In terms of its use, I guess you could use this if you prefer a longer range alternative as a secondary weapon instead of using the shotgun, especially if you don't have any intention on making kill holes once in a while. So that's about it for Jackal's weapons. Now let's talk about his secondary gadgets. Jackal has access to breaching charges or stun grenades. The choice of a secondary gadget usually comes down to personal preference, and I don't think it is any different here. Stun grenades can be helpful when trying to attack into rooms where you know a roamer is hiding in, or even push into an objective room with it, while breaching charges will be helpful in opening lines of sight or pathways into the objective room, or even just into a room where a roamer is hiding. And so having said that, Jackal's secondary gadgets are definitely just a matter of personal preference. For me, I tend to prefer breaching charges since I like to be able to open up holes in walls or hatches, and sometimes castle barricades as well. If I make sure to scout with the drone first before entering a room, there's usually at least one way to safely take out a hiding defender without using a stun grenade, and that's why I prefer using the breaching charges. And so that's about it on Jackal's weapons and gadgets. Now let us move on to his playstyle and some of my gameplay tips with Jackal. As an attacker that specializes in flushing out roamers, it is often a good practice to start off from the opposite side of the map from the objective room or rooms, and then slowly and methodically make your way toward the objective while checking each room for roamers. With Jackal's unique gadget, this process of flushing out the rooms becomes a lot quicker since he just needs to check for footprints leading into rooms to know if there's someone in there or not. One of the best ways to give information to your team as Jackal is to check the staircases and count how many people went to each floor. That way you can quickly relay the information to your team and, for example, tell them if 1 or 2 people are on the floor above the objective, or maybe 1 or 2 people are on the floor below, etc. Not only will your team be more alert of possible ambushes set by roamers, you also greatly increase your chances of success because you saved your team so much time if you can straight up tell them that there shouldn't be anyone upstairs or there shouldn't be anyone downstairs when you don't see any footprints leading up or down the stairs, for example. Another good tip I have for you is that if you see a lone track going off to one obscure corner of the map, far from the objective room, there's usually no need to scan the footprint. It is very easy to track the footprint yourself and figure out exactly which corner the roamer is hiding in, because it is almost like a 1v1 situation. You don't want the roamer to know that you know where they are, so the key here is to give out as little information as possible to them and slowly sneak up on them. What is even better is if you have a teammate nearby, you can both try to flank that same roamer at the same time, using the information you get from your gadget to increase the success chance of killing that roamer without any casualties. Just in case it is not immediately obvious, another tip I have for you is that the direction of the footprint corresponds to where the enemy is facing as they are moving about. You can use this information to your advantage since there's a possibility of figuring out which way they'll be facing before you even engage on them if you have found some fresh red footprints. And so yeah, Jackal is a great attacker to clear roamers with, especially when you realize you're against a team of players who really loves to roam about. His guns are great and he's got a good selection of gadgets too. Definitely a solid attacker. The game plan is basically to try your best to relay information that you get from your unique gadget to your team, work together in clearing out roamers, and go for the easy win if everything goes smoothly. Easy peasy. And so that's about all I have to say about Jackal, and I hope you found the video useful. A Mira guide as well as more Rainbow Six videos will be coming soon, so subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button to be notified when my new videos are up. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, leave a comment below, and share this video with your friends. I greatly appreciate any and all support. And so until next time guys, have a great day, keep gaming, stay chill, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.